Hello and welcome to B2B Purchase Procurement Talks. We have Mr. 𝒍𝒐𝒘-𝒄𝒕𝒊𝒐𝒏 from National Engineering Industries Limited. They are the manufacturers for NBC bearings. Sir, thank you so much for talking to B2B Purchase. And it's good to see you here at XCon. Let us start hearing from you about your participation here at XCon.
You know, NBC is a well-known brand when it comes to automotive, when it comes to rail. That is where we've been in the business for many, many years. In the last few years, we have started to focus on the industrial side of the segment. And a natural progression is to move from heavy trucks to construction and mining equipments. Since we offer the entire range from ball bearings to large bearings, it was a natural progression for us to move to this. So what you see today is a display of the different part numbers that we offer to the segment. We have 5 facilities in Jaipur where we produce all these products, and we have put a lot of focus on the industrial segments. So participating in XCon is one of the reasons we're doing it.
And when you look at the latest energy transition trends in the equipment industry, how do you see that it is going to impact your line of business?
See, for us, we may not see in the construction side so much in terms of energy because we are, unlike an automotive application where I would say fuel efficiency, etc. is a little more important. We are seeing more EV coming in. I know construction, slowly we are starting to see it, but we are not seeing it so significant. It's a slow industry compared to the others in terms of that piece of the technology. Here people look for more reliability, uptime, etc. That is what is more important. So from a bearing perspective, our focus has been, can we produce a more reliable bearing? Can we ensure for the India market there are products that people, when they're having difficulties, can we solve their problems, ensuring uptime of the equipment? For us, that is more important.
And the industry is, ever transforming. A lot of efforts are going into R&D, research and development. Can you share with us what kind of innovations are in place or taking place in your organization which helps for attaining better energy efficiency?
I think our experiences in automotive, because they are far more demanding than the construction, gives us a natural focus. For example, one of the things we are working on is low friction. Once low friction applications are there in this, it ensures that less amount of heat is taken, less amount of friction is there in the bearings, as a result of which fuel efficiency improves. So that's a natural progression that we can do. The other areas would be sensors, where we can use sensors, collect information, which you can use on EV applications. So these are the natural things that is happening. And the fact, one of the advantages that NBC offers compared to our competitors is all our R&D facilities are in Jaipur. So any change that you want to make, we can easily engineer and redo it for this compared to someone like our competitors who are probably outside of India. That's the real benefit that we offer to our customers, and customers are interested because what possibly is applicable in the US or in Europe and China may not be applicable for our kind of a terrain, right? So that's where I think we offer the benefit to the customers.
You shared about the India-specific relevance for the solutions what you provide. Can you also touch upon the innovations happening in the side of materials that use for bearings, probably that you have observed in that?
More than materials, I would say the demand now is coming for coatings, like black oxide coatings, critical applications. This is an area where it is happening. For low friction, you need it. But the basic material, there's been no major changes that's happened in the bearings, right? Well, it might be new for us, for the industry, it's not new. But I think that the focus is really coming on coatings that is there. Those kinds of coatings will make bearings better, longer life, etc. And that's the change that we're offering to our customers. Sustainability, our low friction offers sustainability. Durability comes from one, heat treatment, and second is coatings. These two things make the change when it comes to bearings.
And how do you take your position in terms of sustainability goals, what your OEMs are?
For us, sustainability is very important. Why? We have close to 700 crores worth of exports market. And most customers today, especially the customers in Europe, if you are not sustainable, you're not offering sustainable solutions, you're not even in the race. So we can't even get them, right? They're far more demanding than Indian customers. Secondly, we are setting up a new plant in Jaipur because our current plant was built in 1946. It's outlived its space. We're outside Jaipur, we bought a large space. There, if you take one example, while we are all the other sustainability, everybody does in terms of lights and other things, which is very common. In a place like Rajasthan, we have conserved the water and using that water for our own facility. That is a huge example of the extent to which we are going to offer sustainable solutions. If you want to compete globally, we have to become sustainable. There's no choice. Another area which is very early is going to be finally green steel. One of the areas we're working is, can we take the scrap material out of a thing, offer it to steel players, can use that to make green steel and offer it back to us. So this is an evolving field. The easy ones are easy to do, saving on electricity, saving on compressed air. All those are simple things. The more complex things is, can we take old bearings back and give it to the steel plants? That's when you ensure circular economy happens, right? So these areas is what we are focused.
Yeah, the news about recycle and reuse is very interesting. And in addition to that, what you are mentioning, it's an interesting news that about setting up a new facility at Jaipur. Can you also give more details about that? Because now the old facility what you set up is years back, and today we are talking about smart factories and digital factories.
Even today in our Jaipur facility, if you come and see, we are a digitally enabled factory, which means all parameters that are required from the plants, etc., we do it in-house. We can monitor everything. Our lines are running like this. Why we are doing it? Bearing is, if you want low costs, you need high volume, and we don't want any downtime, right? So most of our plants are running 3 shifts. So it's completely digitally enabled. Like you can get information of everything that's running, process changes, everything is digitally enabled. And in fact, if you all travel and come back, we can actually come and see that facility. That will become natural progression in the new facility. Another thing that is going to happen in the new facility, which we'll have to explore, is, can we have no people managing it? Without lights, can we run it? Things which is dark factories. I mean, it's a direction that we need to take, but it's not. It's possible to do it, right? If you're all getting all the information that is there, this is a possibility. But these are experiments that we'll have to do, But that's the direction that we're going to take. Our main R&D center is in Jaipur. But what we have done is to meet customers' demand and also to attract the right kind of a talent. We have set up an R&D center in Europe, in Germany, which services customers not only in Europe, but customers across the world. Now, the good thing is that we have taken people with specialized and, more importantly, cultural understanding. Like we have people who are understanding Italian customers. There are people who understand German customers. They are all very different, unlike one nation like us. So we build that capability. In addition to that, specialization in metallurgy is another area that we have built in as a capability, not just to service requirements there, but also global capability. We are in the process setting up engineering capability even in the US. We have started with an application engineer, but we'll also beef up and bring more things, because this is what we'll need to take to the next level. Though a lot of the R&D work is happening here in Jaipur, we have set this up even in Europe as well.
And you also mentioned about the kind of data, ability to collect data, from the bearings what you put it in place. What kind of data that must be collecting?
See, when I'm talking of digital factories, it is about process information, right? Any, are the machines running efficiently? Because, like I said, in bearings, once you set it up, then it runs continuously, right? You don't want any break, you don't want any quality issues and all these things. Anything that is slowing the process down, anything that is causing issue, that information is there. When you look at EV applications, there is data where we are fitting a sensor in the bearing, offering it to a EV manufacturer. They can use that bearing and take information for whatever they want. Whether you want speed, all these kinds of things you can use with those sensors.
So you say that this is going to be helpful for condition monitoring or predictive maintenance?
See, in industrial applications, condition monitoring is slightly different, because we have still not seen, and maybe it will come, that in large construction and mining trucks, getting information from there is still not there. You're seeing it in the automotive space. But we can do condition monitoring outside the equipment. We're having failures. We want to monitor that. The quality of the lubricant is required to be done. Other factories. But in construction, maybe the others are doing it. We have not done much on that space as yet.
Talking about the performance of bearings, what are the factors actually that depends on?
See, first, of course, is the proper design, right? When you say design, Are we designing it for the application that is needed? That is the most critical part of it. If you design it well, bearing should ideally run. Second is the environment around the bearing. There could be lubrication issues, there could be sealing issues, etc., which can impact. Third, can it take shock loads? For example, we use case carburized products for places where loads are heavy. I mean, as much as you want to protect the bearing, there could be external factors, mud and dirt coming through the sealing, etc., those things. So how do you avoid that? How do we create more wear resistance on these bearings? And then now in certain applications like electrical mining trucks, etc., when it comes to condition monitoring, bearings that we use for condition monitoring, there are issues in construction mining related to, there's some dirt that gets in, or in tough mining applications, overloads, etc. So in order to understand the condition of the lubricant, etc., we can use condition monitoring equipment. The other area that I was talking about was that there are applications where they could have issues of sparks going through, and we see it a lot in multiple suspension unit in railway. So there could be bearings where we can make it, so that they don't have issues and bearings don't get burned, right? So those are the areas where, condition monitoring solutions are more applicable.
Thank you. And talking about your manufacturing facility, can you give us a highlight about the capacity of the facility and what makes you to now expand into new facilities?
So we make about 250 million bearings per annum. We have 5 facilities. We have the main one is in Jaipur. That's our mother plant. We have one in Savli, very close to Baroda. That's the second facility. 2 more facilities in Jaipur itself, in Nivai and then in Bagru. So these are the facilities that we have. So all the production, everything happens there, and most of it is manufactured in-house. We make all types of bearings, right from ball bearings, taper roller bearings, and we also make from the very smallest bearing right up to, currently we make 1.2 meters. We are planning to look at a 2-meter bearing. We make also large 4-row bearings, not just single row bearings, but 4-row bearings. These are used in steel applications. We also have an aerospace facility. We are making bearings for the aerospace industry. So this is what we have to offer.
Being a global player, how do you see this Trump tariff disruptions are going to make?
It has already impacted us for the last 6 months. See, the thing in bearings is you can't shift a supplier suddenly overnight, right? So some of the tariff burden we are taking, some the customers taking, some the customers are taking. Not true for bearings, but for all the others. And this is how people are managing it. What has been good for us is the India market started to do very well. So even though there's a big impact, we sell close to 700 crores worth of exports. That has impacted both in terms of top line and in bottom line, because it's not just the tariffs. Because of that, the markets also in US has come down. So it's been a two-way impact for us. But luckily with GST coming in, things have improved in the last couple of months. It is helping us to, manage within it. And that's why if you see yesterday in the news, many of them are saying it doesn't matter if the tariffs continue, right? Because I think it's also about taking a strong position. If we do it now, I think in the country's interest is very big.
We all are banging on the domestic demand which is coming up, and hopefully, we will survive this stuff.
See, I think we need both. I mean, for Indian companies to grow, we need both. We need a good domestic demand, but equally a good export, because the volumes are there. For a company like us, if you want to expand, we are just so small in the overall bearing market, right? So our playing ground is anywhere in the world.
Thank you so much for interacting with us. It is a pleasure having you to have this conversation.